heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now.
Okay, hello everybody. This is Kira's show here, and I was going to explain this in the next part, but I believe right now it would make more sense. So, this is Ferdinand, I believe his name is, or Fraud. It's a weird name to pronounce. Anyways, he's basically a stand-in member in the Ten Commandments. He's replacing the original member. However, in this timeline, he is not a Ten Commandments member. In fact, he himself was considered to be a possible replacement if a member ever was killed in the Holy War. Or, at least even in the past. And this is his opportunity to prove himself. If he is able to release the Demon Clan, then he will become a member of the Ten Commandments. Now, with that being said, that basically means that he does not have the power of the Demon King, or that 5% boost. Meaning that he's not as strong as the regular one, not as fast, and not as durable. That is why Midoriya is able to at least compare to him. Now, that being said, let us begin. Whenever we last left off, Izuku Midoriya, he actually did have a fight with the man we just talked about. And it left his body physically exhausted. Now, he barely had enough energy to move, let alone stay conscious. However, he was able to manage, being able to call somebody for help. He called Momo Yaoyorozu. He knew that she probably would not believe anything that he has to say, especially if it sounds like he's talking about demons, goddesses, and releasing something called a demon clan. So, he hid all the information about this topic from her. All that was left was, quite simply, everything that didn't look out of place. The man, or the human, as the two were talking about it, who owned this briefcase. He can possess people, and that is bad. He got away in Midoriya's fight, and Midoriya discovered that quite a lot of people are actually on this man's list. They're all under suspicions, since somebody might carry the god, or the blood of a goddess, or, well, a goddess clan member. So, this does not make any sense. This guy is looking for that. Now, Midoriya is trying to think. They inspected the house of a high-value target, and the guy didn't attack them. So let's see. Midoriya is thinking as he's in the back seat with Momo. Both of them are not talking, and Midoriya is simply just trying to think about this all. Eventually, they do pull up to Midoriya's apartment, and Midoriya does get out of the car. As soon as he does, he turns around and begins to talk to Momo. Hey, are you gonna be alright? Oh yeah, I should be fine. But thank you for bringing this information to light. I'm happy to know that, well, we need to beef up security around the manor, and that my family is in danger. But I do have a question. Go ahead. What is it? Well, how do you know he's not going to come after us again? It's simple, Yaoyorozu. He is going to come after us again. But, most likely, he's going to try coming after me. Huh? What are you talking about? Well, it's quite simple. Midoriya says grabbing the briefcase and throwing it over his shoulder. Listen, Momo. This guy, he's gonna come after this stuff. So I'm gonna hang on to it. Why? Because I just said, if he's gonna come after it and go for you, well, I don't think that you can face this guy. Hell, I think I barely managed. If the guy is able to take me out like he did, then that means that you are at a very bad disadvantage. Especially because you don't have use of magic. I don't know exactly what the guy can do, but he's strong. Adept at hand-to-hand combat from what I've seen. And very well could kill her. All because for a drop of blood? Now, Midoriya, he watches Momo as a concerned look on her face suddenly turns to fear for a second. Her eyes darting over to her left. Are you alright? Yeah, sorry. It's just, I thought I saw someone watching us. Midoriya says, looking over towards that corner. It's the corner of the street. Wouldn't be surprised if someone was. Is it their target? No, it couldn't be. If he really wanted to take us all down, he'd do it now. The guy clearly has a strength advantage against me. But he's probably worried about fighting out in the open right now. Then again, he fought me out in the open last time and he just jumped to a different body. So, someone is watching us, but it isn't him, is it? Crap. Okay, Yaoyorozu, listen. Now, before Midoriya can really even think, he does one thing. He pulls the gun out of his waistband and gives it to Momo, placing it down in the palm of her hand before simply just closing it, and telling her that she has a very powerful quirk, and he's going to need her to listen to him very carefully. Her quirk is strong, but it's the way you use it that is a tiny bit wrong. What are you talking about? Listen, you're talking, well, my timing on this couldn't be worse, but the way your quirk is, you're using it for versatility. You're able to create objects and other things. Sure, you can create probably a chair, I think a cannon, and if I'm right, you could probably create a part for a car. You're able to create a firearm. Now, think about that for 1 second. What is one way you can weaponize your quirk? I think I see where you're going with this. Now listen to me. I can help you train your quirk and your abilities. And I will need a bit of a favor. What is it? Well, I myself am going to talk to someone. Once I talk to them, I'm basically going to try and find out what this villain can do. I'm going to see if he's at least living underneath a name or something. I can inform, well, somebody I know, as to what's going on. Once he knows about it, then there's going to be a bit of a manhunt for this guy. If I can tell him about what I know, then hey, we might be able to find him. Alright, just keep me updated on that. Alright, and Yaoyorozu. Midoriya says, telling her that it's all going to be fine and not to worry about it. In fact, he's giving her that handgun because he has some faith in her. If she comes across that guy, then at least tag him. Put a tracer, or, well, what is it? I think they're called tracer rounds. Make one and shoot him. If you put a tracer round inside a regular bullet and fire off real rounds at him, you can hurt him. The guy, well, he's basically just a moving location now. You'll know where he is and you'll know where we can find him. Think you can do that? Yeah, okay. Alright. I have to have a conversation with somebody. Now, Momo just does one thing. She leans against the door and looks out into, well, the street, scanning the area more. Midoriya, he takes a bit of a chance. He uses his quirk, a purple beam of light coming out of Midoriya's palm, and slowly, at least going into the car, grabbing the file off underneath the seat before being able to just pull it out. As soon as it does, it sets itself directly out of view by the car tire. And Midoriya then tells her, good luck, before closing the door. And Momo drives away. Now, after they basically get out of view, or at least turn the corner, Midoriya picks up this file. That was a close one. Okay. So, Midoriya just thinks. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he does actually pretend to walk into his apartment building. He walks past the staircase and hides behind the cement wall. As soon as he does that, this is whenever someone actually does come running up. Being able to hop over the fence and quickly trying to follow Midoriya. As soon as they do actually get to the staircase, Midoriya simply just peeks out. And he's a bit curious. It's not that demonic energy. So, what is it? Who is it? Now, Midoriya, he just listens in, as he can hear someone actually talking. Ah, where'd he go? But then again, who is that girl he was talking to? It's weird. He's usually with a blonde girl, isn't he? Then again, was she blonde or a brunette? And that other girl, she had dark hair. It couldn't have been her, could it? This is actually kind of confusing. Either my Romeo is a bit of a, well, I don't know what the right word for it is, or he just hangs out with the wrong crowd. Now, Midoriya does listen as Toga does walk back down the staircase, slumping against the wall, and simply just doing one thing. She sighs, before at least trying to figure something out. Okay, so his schedule for the day was this. Her beginning to at least type it into her phone, before at least noticing something on the ground. Huh? The hell? Her actually going over to pick it up. What is this? Shit! Did I drop something? Midoriya looking into his pockets. Those two pictures he had, they're gone. Crap. Now, this is whenever Toga, she actually does inspect them. This is kind of weird. So, who is this guy? Why does he have a... That's weird. I don't think I've ever seen someone with a mutation quirk quite like this. Now, Midoriya, he actually does begin to try and think. Okay, he's gonna need to reveal himself and get that picture back. Or maybe... Crap, no, she'd ask for an explanation. Okay. Now, Midoriya just does one thing. He steals the picture out of her hand. Whenever both of these, well, beams of light directly come into her vision, she actually just freezes for a second, confused. The pictures being pulled out of her hand. Before returning to Midoriya, her turning around and following the beam. Hey! Hey yourself. Those aren't yours, those are mine. Well, you could have just asked for them. I could have, but I have a better question. Do you mind explaining to me why you're still following me? Let alone why you're writing down my schedule in your phone? Well, Well, I'd like a bit of an explanation. Well, it's just that... Just what? You're a stalker. Hell, I'm already trying to catch a stalker. What? Well, you caught me. No, not you. Listen, my problems are bigger than you right now. What does that mean? Well, let me... You'd probably think I'm crazy if I try to explain it. But I got into a fight with a guy earlier today, and he left me exhausted. In fact, I could barely move. I'm still having some trouble moving around my right arm a bit. But I can at least form a fist. And, surprise, surprise, the guy's basically trying to target a bunch of young people. And not only am I on the list, but so are you. So is that girl you saw me with earlier. And, well, I believe you know the other girl. Other girl? The blonde one? No, not her. In fact, I don't even think she's involved in this stuff. I'm talking about the brown-haired one. You know, you've probably seen her before. I think I have seen her. Yeah, you guys were talking the other morning when you gave her money. Yeah, okay. First of all, you can help me. Really? Well, yeah. I don't care about your strange little habits or hobbies. For right now, this is more important. You're joking. You just found out a strange girl's been following you, keeping track of everything you do, and instead of being angry, you want to know how she can help you? Yes. Why? Because everyone else in this town is in danger because of it. Some of the people on his list I've run into, others I have seen. In fact, a few of the guys on his previous list that I've looked through, Midoriya is opening out the briefcase and handing over a list of photos and names, saying that this guy he knows because he's met him before. Really? What's his quirk? He's got a half and half ability. And then, Midoriya flipping through the page, saying that this guy here has got an explosion quirk, before simply just saying that he's met a few of these people. A few of them do go to his school, and some of them he at least thinks he remembers. You know, now that I'm actually thinking about it, you seem a bit more smart than you let on to believe. Really? Well, maybe you just didn't know me very well. Of course you don't know me. No one does. Hell. I'm just trying to have fun and now I'm doing this shit. Though I gotta work fast before this turns into a murder mystery. Now, with that being said, Midoriya simply just hands his number over to Toga and tells her that If she has anything, just simply add to it to keep him in the loop. And that he's going to need her to actually look into a few of these other people. She can help him doing that, and he's going to talk to the girl who lives here tomorrow. Okay? Sure. Now, with that being said, Midoriya does eventually get up to his apartment. And whenever he does unlock the door and walk in, there is the doll. She is currently just sitting down and somewhat just watching TV. Now, she actually does sound a bit more happy and excited. So, she's at least using her heart. Why did she ever take it out, though? It's kind of confusing. You do you. So, have you found out any information? Hmm? Oh, about what? About the guy we're after. I was talking to you earlier. Well, no. But most likely, if we at least have this amount of evidence against him, then that means that we can at least plot his next move. You really think that would be enough, though? Why, I believe so, yes. However, if need be, I can probably use my magical abilities. Yeah, about that. I was kind of wondering. Hmm? Wondering what? What can you do with magic? Well, that's somewhat of a simple case. My creator, Elaine, she knew that a doll, they're somewhat limited on forms of magic. However, she created me specifically using what she could. I'm able to use various forms. However, that is by design. However, my preferred magic, I'm guessing, if I have to really call it my preferred method, is somewhat of memory magic. Why? Well, it's quite easy. I. Hmm. I. I don't know. But I like it. It makes me feel happy, you could call it. Okay, but what exactly does it do? I can look and peer inside the minds of men and women. Anyone. Once I begin to do this, I can either change things up, alter your memories, or quite simply just extract information from you. Wait, what? Yes. I can put in new memories, take some out, or simply just rewrite them to what I desire. That's very creepy. Well, I believe so, yes. But even then, I think it would be a lot creepier if I sort of abused it. Hmm. Okay, fine. But another question. You can add memories, right? Well, yes. Have you ever used this ability on me? No, I have not. Okay, good. I was gonna ask if you can just simply put in memories of me training with you, or just add magical abilities by just inserting them into my head. Well, no, it does not work like that. First, you must be able to control your magic and use it in that form. If I implant the memories into your head, well, what's the best way to put it? It'd be like trying to make a hand grenade. If you have all the right ingredients and equipment, theoretically you could make it. However, if you do not follow a certain guidebook, as soon as you pull the pin, instead of it being, well, explosive when you throw it, it might just explode, taking your hand clean off, along with just showering your face in debris. I see. So I'd have to practice it so I don't die. In a words, yes. Okay. That makes a bit of sense. Yes, it does. Now, with that being said, I believe I can at least jump over a little bit of time. Now, the quote-unquote demon, it sort of lays low for a minute, trying to at least figure out a plan. With all the information they just lost, it is setting them back quite a bit. However, for an entire month, Midoriya somewhat keeps tabs on a few people. He does at least begin to show more and more around certain areas of town, along with talking with Uraka, informing her that she might actually be in a little bit of danger. Now, he does at least let her in on this. She lives in the same building as him, so he's giving her a heads up. He had to fight a villain, and he's fairly certain that the villain, well, they are hunting down somebody, and she was on a list. That's sort of freaking her out. However, Midoriya informs her that he's going to take the guy down, along with that he's also going to inform somebody. Now, Midoriya does eventually talk with All Might, and basically inform him what is going on. A man is trying to basically hunt somebody down. He doesn't know why or who he's tracking. However, an entire list is formed. Midoriya handing over the papers and saying that these are everyone whose names were on it, his name included. And, well, yeah. All he really knows is that if any one of these people go missing, that most likely their body is probably being used by a villain. This is quite a lot of information, young man. But how can you be sure? Because I fought the guy yesterday. Really? And he was strong. Listen to me, All Might. You can't take this to the police or Hero Association. It's just like All for One. If you take it to the police, well, he's just going to jump in a police officer's body. And probably try and work his way up. I don't know what he's going to plan on doing. But if we force his hand, then he is going to do something drastic. I can understand, young man. Besides, if he were to jump into your body, it's unknown as to what he could do. The guy he possessed was quirkless, and he was strong enough to take a punch from me, along with at least 50% of his power. Somewhere around 40, I don't know. And survive. Now, with that being said, Midoriya does at least begin to talk with these people more. For the next 2 to 3 months, Midoriya has somewhat of a bit of a schedule. He's met up with and actually talked to Mina a bit more. Along with that, he also does at least stop by and try to occasionally fight Kendo. Meanwhile, he is also at least looking a bit more into that invisible girl. Whenever him and her actually did talk a bit, she sort of was still freaking out about it. Eventually, her topics turned into training to be a pro hero. And Midoriya did at least say that he can help her out with that. Along with that, Ochako herself began to train. And Midoriya at least began to talk with Jiro some more. Along with that, he began to at least try and make time with and spar with Yaoyorozu. However, yeah, it became quite a bit of a handful. Now, Midoriya, he is basically balancing quite a lot. Certain times it's easier, certain times it's harder. However, eventually, Midoriya, he kind of runs into a problem. He's going to be sparring with, well, Kendo, after he's supposed to fight with and train with Yaoyorozu. Then there's the fact that with Mina, she wanted to at least try sparring with Midoriya, test out how strong her quirk is, and he might be able to help her with some pointers. And then there's Invisible Girl. He was actually going to help her try and at least work out today. Yeah, his schedule is very packed. Now, with that being said, Midoriya is basically keeping tabs on quite a lot of people. Along with that, he's basically more like a social butterfly, talking with different people from his school and hanging out in large crowds with them. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. Catch you guys in the next part.